The Italian Wine Podcast is the community-driven platform for Italian wine geeks around the world. Support the show by donating at ItalianWinepodcast.com. Donate €5 or more and we'll send you a copy of our latest book, My Italian Grape Geek Journal, absolutely free. To get your free copy of My Italian Grape Geek Journal, click Support Us at ItalianWinepodcast.com or wherever you get your pods. Grazie mille.
Welcome to Wine, Food and Travel with me, Marc Millon, on Italian Wine Podcast. Listen in as we journey to some of Italy's most beautiful places in the company of those who know them best, the families who grow grapes and make fabulous wines. Through their stories, we will learn not just about their wines, but also about their ways of life, the local and regional foods and specialities that pair naturally with their wines, and the most beautiful places to visit. We have a wonderful journey of discovery ahead of us, and I hope you will join me. Welcome to Wine, Food and Travel with me, Marc Millon, on Italian Wine Podcast. Today it's my great pleasure to travel to the Val di Cembra to meet my guest, Lona of the Consorzio Cembrani DOC, a small grouping of just 6 wine producers and 2 distilleries, all small family companies located in a historic wineland in the mountains above Trento. Buongiorno, Mara. Thank you so much for being my guest today. How are you?
Fine, thank you. Good morning to everybody. Thank you for inviting me.
Oh, it's a real pleasure to have you and to have you share what sounds like a very, very special place. And for my sake, but mainly for all our listeners who are located all around the world, can you describe where you are? Can you describe the Val di Cembra so that we can have in our minds a picture of this very special and historic wineland in the Dolomites?
Yeah, sure. We are north of Trento on the Dolomites, and our landscape is completely terraced. It's a terrace landscape since the 14th, and today we count 708 kilometers of wall, dry stone wall, that hold about 600 hectares dedicated to the cultivation of the wine. We have a river that flows through our valleys. The name is Avisio. That is really important because of the water and because of the climate. And it makes us a big differences on the grapes because during the day, especially in August before the harvest, we have about 33, 34 degrees, so it's quite hot. And then in the evening, thanks to the river and to the wind that comes with the rivers, we have about 18, 19 degrees, so a big excursion, a big difference that makes our grape more aromatic rather than in the other places. Another characters that make us unique is our terroir, that is porphyr. Porphyr is a lavic stone, and we are a volcanic area production on the mountains, and we are one of the highest that you can find here in Trentino. Our grapes are cultivated between 200 meters on the sea level till 900 meters, so really high.
Okay, so you've given us a vivid picture. I'm imagining these historic, centuries-old dry stone walls holding the land together. It must be quite steep.
Yes, that's for sure.
Yeah, so we're talking about heroic viticulture that takes great effort to tend in a beautiful backdrop to the magnificent Dolomites then behind. Is that right? The snow-covered Dolomites at this moment.
Yes, yes. Yeah, we have snow that comes again also yesterday. And here on the area where we product, it remains just a few. We have more snow on the Dolomites, on the hills. Cembra Valley doesn't have so many peaks. The highest mountain is about 1,600 meters because all the peaks were surrounded by the glacier of Marmolada that make us the landscape more soft. We don't have the ski traces. We don't have the possibility to ski, but the landscape is also wonderful in winter because you can do a lot of ciaspole, I don't know how to translate, of the walk in the mountain on the in the
Ciaspole, is that snowshoes?
snowshoes. That's right, snowshoes through the vineyards or through our forests that are really really wonderful, like an Narnia landscape during winter.
Oh, yes, I can imagine. That sounds beautiful. Now, these dry stone terraces, they're hundreds of years old, so wine has been produced here for hundreds of years. But the Cembrani dock itself, is that relatively new and it's a very small grouping?
Yes, it's relatively new. We just had birthday last year, 10 years of activity. So really, it's really started recently. The grape but was cultivated since the 4th BC. So we are one of the historical cradle of the Trentino viticulture. At that time, there wasn't the terraces, and the grape was cultivated just in the more flat places, and the variety was red. Was the most common was trolling, that is Schiava, is a red varieties. Then at the beginning of the 80s, the arrives a new of the last century arrives a new variety that is Muller Thurgau that found here an ideal climate, really an ideal place to grow. And in 10 years, Cembra Valley became a valley of from red grape to white grape. Actually, we produce 80% just white varieties, mainly Muller Thurgau, and another one is Chardonnay, the international one, for the production of the classic method Trento DOC, so bubble wine. And we started our history of Cembrani 10 years ago when the new markets like the e-commerce and the new communication like the social comes to knock at our doors because all the winery that are part of this consortium are small family run business that follows from the land to the selling. And they hadn't the time, first of all, and also the knowledge to manage these new channels. And so they decided to grow together this consortium for the communication and then promotion of the land. We are not a consortium of certification, but just of branding. We do events, we organize events. We organize the enoturism, so visit every days and also experiences in the land like dinner in the landscape or harvest, the tourist harvest also. And since 5 years, we also open a restaurant where we can valorize, we can give more value to our wines productions with good dishes.
Okay, that's a really good overview of a small area with a historic pedigree, but now a small grouping of small family businesses producing wines and distillates of great character. So the Cembrani DOC falls within the larger Trento DOC for the sparkling wine. Is that correct?
That's correct. And for the sparkling Trento DOC and for the still wine, the Trentino DOC, but in Cembra Valley, we have the superior Cembra Valley. We have obtained this recognition in 2017. Is one of the work of the consortium because we showed that through the years our grape, especially that one of Riesling, Muller Thurgau, Schiava, and Pinot Noir, were more aromatic rather than in the other areas for the climate that we have that is really special and for our terroir that is the porphyr. And so we obtain this new classification of superior Trentino DOC for these varieties, Cembra Valley.
Okay, that's very important. So the wines from the Cembra Valley really have their own character that is distinct from anywhere else within the Trentino DOC.
Yes, for the exposure also, we are southeast, so we have a grape always that have a lot of sun and they are really hot in taste, let me say so. And three are the characters that make us unique. One is the minerality. Our wines are really minerals. One is the sapidity that you have. It seems like quite salty sometimes, and also the aromas are really intense. Never sweet, not sweet, because we cultivate at high level. On the sea level, so the sweetness part doesn't evolve so much, doesn't develop so much, but the aromas primary aromas, especially fruity and flowers, are the characters of all of our production. And related to the fact that we have terroir porphyr, so volcanic stone, our wines doesn't. They have a long life. Actually, we are selling the vintage 2020 because now is the good year to have the best performance of our wines. But as usual, we organize quite every week the tasting with the ancient vintages. For example, last day, 2 days ago, we had a Müller-Thurgau tasting, and we started from Müller-Thurgau of 1998, and it was still fresh, related to the terroir.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yes, amazing. No, it's really amazing. And this something is a new consciousness that we are growing in the last years. And we decided to celebrate this fact during a festival that we collaborate for the organization in October. And the name is Dolo Vini Miti. So the wines in the heart of the Dolomites, Dolo Wine Mites. That it always take place the second weeks of October, when the vintage, when the harvest is finished, and when we have the beautiful landscape with the foliage.
Oh, the changing colors.
The changing colors of the grapes, of the wines, because related to the fact that we cultivate from 200 meter till 900 meter, we have a lot of varieties located in the best, highest, and in the best exposure. We have, as I said, Müller-Thurgau, Riesling, Chardonnay, Pinot Grigio, Gewürztraminer, Moscato Giallo, Manzoni Bianco, Kerner, Veltliner. That's all for the white. For the red, we have Schiava, Pinot Noir, and Lagrein. And all these plants have a different color during the autumn. So it's really wonderful, from red to orange to yellow to brown. I invite you to come.
I would love to come. It sounds absolutely beautiful. And I'm sure the wines are.
Yes, in autumn is really fantastic.
I will try to come up and see you sometime. Now tell me about two wines that I noted, the 708 kilometer Cembrani Bianco and the 708 kilometer Cembrani Rosso. Is that from one producer, or is that a name that's used by all of the producers?
No, this is our visit card.
Okay.
This is a line that we created with a selected wines from our winery that belongs to Cembrani Dock. We produce 708 kilometers. That is how long are the walls in Cembra Valley. So it's dedicated to the landscape. Also, the label is a long wall. No, it's longer as the bottle. Is really particular. Also, the marketing project.
Okay.
And inside we have 60% Müller-Thurgau and 40% Riesling for the white, 60% Schiava, 40% Lagrein for the red. We ask our producer to bring to consortium for the white varieties the most aromatic, and for the red variety the more fruity parts that they produce. And is a small production, just 2,500 bottles yearly. Because this arrives from special land that they can produce more. So it's just from one place, the largest production that we can do. And we use these wines especially to show how the wine is characterized by the terroir of Cembra Valley in the white and in the red.
Okay, that's a very interesting project.
The project is completed, sorry if I interrupt you, from Trento Dock, Trento DOC, also 2,708 kilometers, and right now we're selling the 2017. is a wine that remains on the yeasts for 40 months and is just Blanc de Blanc, Chardonnay. And we also won the silver medal at the sparkling and champagne concourse, so we are really happy about this. And then finally, to complete the line, we have a grappa because is part of our history. Grappa is what you distill from the pomace, and is a particular grappa. Is 50% Schiava distilled Bain Marie and 50% Müller-Thurgau distilled in continuous steam. So two distillation methods to have one grappa that is unique. Why we did so this project? Because we want to have immediately in the nose, when you smell it, this grappa, you feel the rude part of the grappa that was an ancient characters of the grappas, but in mouth is really elegant thanks to the other method of distillation that gives immediately the taste that now is appreciated from the customers. So is the past and the present taste in one grappas.
Okay, and again, that grappa being very much part of the culture and tradition in the Val di Cembra.
Yes, a long tradition because it's historical. We were part of the Habsburgan Emperor, and during this period, we were allowed to distill 70 liter per family. Everybody had an alembic at home to distill the pomace, because this alcohol is gives a lot of energy. Having a glass of grappa is like eating a plate of spaghetti. So you have a lot of calories. And this distillate, this alcohol helps. The name was eau de vie because it helps again to fight to be healthy, during the poor period
and the cold as well.
In the cold as well. And so everybody had this the machine that you need to have to distillate. And when we start to be Italy, there was no more allowed. And so people but need this grappa to survive and to sell, also to have some money to survive, always for survive idea. And so they continue to produce and to sell them not in a legal way. And so there are also a lot of like the moonshine, in America. So this was the history is quite the same, but it was to fight the fact that there was no other economy, and so people or they do so or they have to emigrate.
Sure, yes, of course. Now, Mara, you said that the Consorzio also has a restaurant. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
What is the name of the restaurant?
Ca dei Volti.
Ca dei Volti.
Ca dei Volti is a small restaurant with 40 seats. Actually, we're closer because we're changing the collaboration with a new chef. It was a restaurant before with Classic, and now we want to do a new project where you sit to have a good wine. Related to the wine that you are going to order, you will receive the good food to pair. So it will be a new proposal on the restoration market.
Coming back to America, Vinitaly International Academy, the ultimate Italian wine qualification, will be held in New York City from 4 to 6 March 2024. Have you got what it takes to become the next Italian wine ambassador? Find out at vinitaly.com.
Our listeners, and I'm sure many listening to this, will want to visit the Val di Cembra. I want to visit the Val di Cembra. What are the piatti tipici, the local dishes that pair well with the Cembrani DOC wines that everybody should make sure and sample?
From the starter, you have to taste our salami. The name is Luganega. Is a salami that is produced with 80% cow and 20% pork. So it's quite, it's not so fat, and is fabulous. It's smoked and is really tasting. And also carne salada is a typical dish here that you can have raw or you can cook, and it is produced from always from cow meat, and is really fabulous. It's a salted meat that you can use as carpaccio as well.
What wines would pair with the Luganiga and the Carne Sala?
Organica carne salada,
Yeah.
you have to pair with our white Müller-Thurgau. Because of the minerality of these wines, it gives you the right balance in mouth, and it exalted the part of the meat, and also it cleaned at the end the fat part, and it's really ideal. As main dishes, I suggest strangolapreti, that is like a gnocco produced with spinach and ricotta cheese, and really tasty. And polenta also is really typical with spezzatino, or with tonco de Pontesel is another dish that is typical. Is produced from the not the noble part of the cow, but the poor part, and it's really tasty. And
What was the name of that?
tonco de Pontesel. We don't have an Italian translation for this.
Tonco di Pontesel. Okay. And it's like a spezzatino?
It's like a spezzatino, but not produced not with the noble part of the animals, but from the poor part ones.
Okay, and you would have that with polenta as well.
With polenta as well. And patugo is also typical. It's like a puree, but not. There is also potatoes inside, but the main part is fagioli, is the bean, and also with zucchini, and it's also mashed together like mashed potatoes, and it's really tasty. And some of us, my mother do it, add also bacon, so it's no more a veggie dish, but it's really tasty. As dessert, we conclude with a good strudel. We produce not just wine, but also apples. And so we use apples for producing cake, torta di mele or strudel. Or also there are other cake that is really typical that is produced with the old bread, torta di pane.
Okay, so those sound really, really interesting and hearty dishes to enjoy. With the polenta and the dishes that you mentioned, the spezzatino and the tonco di
Pontesel, you have to match with a schiava. Schiava is so wonderful wine that you can match from the starter to the desserts, because it has the cherries and the strawberry aromas in nose and also in mouth. It's really light. It's also strong. The alcohol is about 11 degrees generally, so it's not so alcoholic, and is the wine that we always match with our dishes during our meat, so during the lunch and during the dinner also.
Okay, and of course that.
And then in summer we serve it from the fridge.
Oh, okay.
Really like it's like a drink for us.
Yeah. Okay. La Grain would be a bigger wine.
La Grain is more deep, is more the structure is more important, and this we match with the wild meat.
Okay, the cinghiale
or cervo.
Cervo.
Is typical for us. Capriolo.
Venison, yeah.
Yes.
Okay. And the Apfelstrudel, of course, that's a reminder of the Austrian influence in Trentino Alto Adige. What would be the wine to have with the strudel?
With the strudel, there would be a good passito, but unfortunately, our area is not good for passito wines. And so we match with grappas usually.
Oh, okay. Okay, good.
We match with grappa in our restaurants. And another dish that I forgot that's really typical is the canederli.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
That is for the Austrian culture, but we were Austrian till the 18th. So our dishes has a lot to do with the German culture.
Okay, describe the canederli.
Canederli, to have canederli, you have to use the old bread. You cut it. You add what you have in the fridge, so or salami, cheese, or also vegetable, and you do small bowl. You add some milk to make the bread not so crispy, and you do small bowl, and then you boil it, and then you can add or spezzatino, or ragu, or butter and have in the white version.
I love the canedli. It's a real specialty. These little dumplings, a real specialty of Trentino.
Yes.
What wine would you have?
It depends on which is the recipe, because if you have canedeli di carne, so with meat, Schiava is the ideal one. If you have canedeli with spinach, is better a Müller-Thurgau or a Chardonnay.
Okay.
I don't know how to say in English. Rapa rossa. Can you help me?
Is that horseradish?
Can be. Is the red one cabbage? Maybe.
Maybe, yeah.
But this one is also another typical, is a veggie that grows in winter. You collect in winter from your land, and is used to produce canedeli to give taste and color. And usually we do canedeli with this veggie with cheeses, and with this is better to match a Pinot Noir.
Okay. Now, final question. What about hospitality in the Val di Cembra? What would our visitors expect if they come?
We have a family hospitality. We don't have big hotels. We also have agriturismos. So a lot of small agriturismos with 6, 8, 10th room, not big houses, where usually they are owned by one family, and you will have a family hospitality from breakfast till you're leaving. This is the main typical hospitality in our land.
Okay, so it's a place for people who want to really experience somewhere genuino.
Yes.
Staying with families, understanding the landscape, the people, the ways of life, and of course, enjoying the typical foods and wines.
Yes, we don't have just food and wines. We also have some natural places to visit that are really wonderful. One is the pyramid of Segonzano, that are pyramid makes from earth, from the rain. The rain did this sculpture. They are fantastic. Then we have a lot of lake during summer where you can swim.
Oh my.
And also have something good to eat, because on the river there are places to eat. And then we have a Roccolo of Sauk. Is really fantastic. Is like a crown construct with trees that was used to catch the bird.
Oh my.
Yeah. There are a lot of things to visit and to enjoy the landscape. And also we have a wonderful museum of our terroir, the Porphyr Museum, where you can learn everything about the porphyr and the history of our terroir. That is the stone that now is used to produce square. You find in a lot of squares around the world our porphyr.
Well, Mara, you've taken us to what sounds like a very magical land. I know it's your home, and I know it's somewhere that's very dear and important to you. So thank you very much for sharing the Val di Cembra with us. I've really enjoyed our conversation today. So thank you very much, and I hope to visit you.
Thank you, Mark, for calling me, and I hope to see you soon. We have a lot of occasion also for our guests. We start in May with the preview of our festival, and then we have a festival dedicated to Müller-Thurgau in July. And then in October, we have the 10th of the Dolo Wine Mites Festival. So that is the most important event of our valley, to discover landscape, people, wines, and food.
Wonderful. Thank you, Mara.
Thank you so much. And sorry for my English again.
Not at all. You've been very clear and given a beautiful description. Grazie.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. See you.
We hope you enjoyed today's episode of Wine, Food and Travel with me, Marc Millon, on Italian Wine Podcast. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe right here or wherever you get your pods. Likewise, you can visit us at ItalianWinePodcast.com. Until next time, chin chin.